Hello and welcome to the last in our series of our Seder Plates, which has been a series of short videos in which I've been interviewing various members of Kingston Liberal Synagogue about their Seder Plates and about their Pesach tradition. And no series would be complete without our chair, Craig, so I'm delighted he's agreed to join me for the final episode of this series. Now, Craig and his family have been members since, well, Craig and Mary have been members for about 30 years of Kingston Liberal Synagogue, and he has been chair of our community for just coming up 4 years now. So thank you so much for joining, Craig.
Lovely to be here, Rebecca.
And let's get straight to it. I know you've got more than one Seder plate to show us today. So can you show us your Seder plates?
So I can't actually show you our Seder plate because unfortunately it is lost. We lent it out a few years ago and it hasn't come back. So if you're watching this, recognise what I'm about to show you, please return it. So to show you, I got Mary and Alison to trawl through our family albums and they came up with this photo. So it was just a bit of a rarity because our uncle frowned on photography during the Seder. It's quite difficult to make out, but I've tried to circle the bottom center. It's got items on it.
Yeah.
So it's actually a metal plate. I think it's copper with sections for each item and a Hebrew name inscribed.
Very nice.
And its origin, it belonged to my parents-in-law, Margaret and George Regal. And Mary told me this lovely story of Margaret buying it at a shuk, an Arab market, either in Israel or Egypt. So I tried to verify this, and her brother David actually said it wasn't anywhere near as exotic. In fact, she bought it at a jumble sale, probably at the synagogue.
That's not quite as romantic a story, is it? You've just totally destroyed all of those memories.
Oh, well. What I can do, though, is to show you my own parents' Seder plate. That was definitely bought at a shuk in Jerusalem. Here it is.
Oh, that is lovely.
Okay, and I know that because I bought it.
Oh.
I bought it was when I was there in 1984, my first trip to Israel. I can also show you 3 special plates that the children use, which they made.
Oh, right.
So this is Robert.
Oh, fantastic. Is he going to be very embarrassed you're showing these now?
He's going to be very proud. And Nathan.
Oh, they're lovely. Oh, I like that horse. Great.
probably LJY. I'm not sure.
Right.
I can also show you something else as well.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Which is this.
This is a veritable show and tell.
Yes. So this is a matzah stand. You may have seen it in that first photo.
Yeah.
But it also comes with this embroidered matzah cloth cover.
Oh, nice.
See?
Oh,
and
yeah.
3 sections, 3 pockets in. See there? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's very intricate, isn't it? Yeah. Fab.
Yeah, for the 3 matzah that we have at the Seder, including for the half the afikomen to go in.
Brilliant. Excellent. So tell us then, Craig, tell us about some of your sort of traditions, your family traditions, any special memories that you have.
Yeah, so I married into a family with lots and lots of traditions. Seders were led when he was alive by Mary's uncle, Rabbi Lawrence Regal. You saw that him in this first photo. He lived in Wanstead beside a railway line, which provided the horseradish. So in fact, he dug up enough from the rail side, planted it in his own garden, and that gave us a permanent source for our Seder. And that tradition has been carried on after he died. Mary and Nathan were able to find some sort of horseradish growing beside a railway in Ewell.
Oh, wow.
So we're okay for horseradish.
Fabulous. Quite important.
Passover cookery is, of course, plentiful. Mary's chocolate flapjack, my mother's matzah pudding, coconut pyramids, the lot. The Seder is sometimes a challenge because my nephew Joshua is allergic to one of the most common ingredients in Passover cookery, being eggs.
Oh.
So we work around that. For instance, the egg on the Seder plate has to be wrapped in cling film.
Right, so it doesn't kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It's also traditional for a major family event to take place around, if not actually during, the Seder. My sister Anne, his sister-in-law Anne, gave birth to Moshe during one Seder.
Literally at the Seder, or just at the same time?
So she and her family live in Manchester. Apparently her husband carried on with the Seder over her tummy. I don't know if that's apocryphal.
Okay. So many images.
When my cousin's waters broke at the end of the Seder meal.
Right.
Yeah. Sadly, also, both of Mary's grandparents and her great aunt died on Seder night. So it is a time of mixed emotions.
Yeah. Gosh, birth and death. Wow. Well.
So with a large family, Seders are inevitably massive. And we, as well as extended family, we welcome visitors. Before the baton was handed to Mary and me, Seders alternated between my parents-in-law and her uncles and aunts. And there were times that there were so many of us that we had to separate in different rooms.
Oh, right.
Here's a photo of them. So here's a photo from 3 years ago. This is when it was at our place.
Oh yes. Oh, I recognise a few faces there.
Yes. That's in our extended kitchen.
Yes.
The story goes. Oops, sorry, that's going too far. That we extended it so that everyone could sit around the table for Seder. That's the purpose of our extension.
Fine.
The Seders themselves are very joyous. We have a family Haggadah. Here we are, prepared by Rabbi Lawrence.
Oh wow! Gosh, that's special. Yeah.
Complete with traditional wine stains. But he prepared it in 1980, so it needs modernising, moving it to gender-neutral language. So one of these days we'll get around to doing that.
A future project.
Yeah. We're encouraged to ask questions. These days, most of them are answered by Rabbi Google. Lots of singing. Well, that might be going too far. Lots of noise. It has been said that when someone heard one of the songs being sung somewhere else, they were shocked. And they said, "You mean that one's got a tune?" Which is a legacy, I think, of the Rabbi Lawrence era, which I've tried to move forward from, but with some difficulty. I have to battle with a certain amount of heckling when I try to lead some of the songs that they're not used to having a tune for. Anyway, I caught them out one year. I can't remember what song it was, but the whole family claimed I just made it up. So I asked our visitors, I think they were Russian immigrants to the States, what tune they used. And they said they had used the one that I had just used.
Right.
One small victory.
Which you haven't forgotten, have you? I can tell.
No.
And it's now committed to video, committed to record.
We have our own particular approach to Echad Miyodea after the meal, which catches out visitors. So we sing the first 12 verses, I'll sing you one, that one, very sensibly, which lulls our guests into a very false sense of security. We start the final verse more slowly, and then all hell breaks loose as everyone races to get to the end as quickly as they can with a passion. It's like everything that's happened at the Seder before then is of no consequence. It's all been what everyone is waiting for. This moment.
Brilliant.
So typically we get about 20-something at a Seder. I think we had 30 at one stage at my parents-in-law. So big, but nothing compared with another family tradition of the Passover picnic.
Oh, yes.
Which goes back many years. Sunday in Passover, one of Mary's extended family, and we're talking here up to third cousins, organises a ramble, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, picnic at lunchtime. And that was a photo here of one of the walks.
Gosh.
A bit like children of Israel on their way to the promised land, a picnic and tea at the end. And it's a chance to update the family tree as well. You can see.
Oh, wow. Gosh, yeah. Incredible. What about this year then, Craig? So we're just about to approach our second lockdown Seder. So what are your plans for this year? And what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, well, we really missed being together last year. We did it on Zoom. There we are.
Oh,
bit of a contrast to others.
Yeah.
When we're together physically, people are so relaxed, able to enjoy each other's company. You can get little conversations.
Yeah.
That's you can't get that with Zoom.
Yeah.
And I suspect it'll be similar-ish as this year as well. But I think last year, the lockdown was new. There was a sense of being in captivity. This year, I think we're hopeful that we can move forward onto liberation.
Yes, exactly, which seems to be a bit of a theme, I think, about the festival, doesn't it? And again, also one that's definitely come up throughout this series. Quite a few people have said things along the lines of next year in Thames Ditton, or next year in Reigate, next year in Ewell, or wherever.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a way, it's a helpful way to fulfill the instruction that that you should approach a Seder as if you were slaves in Egypt. And so, I mean, it helps us be more appreciative of the freedom, that we, certainly freedom compared with them. But we shouldn't take freedom for granted. And we should recognize there are many people in the world who, even before the lockdown, do not enjoy the freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's certainly going to make us all appreciate next year's Seder even more. Well, Craig, thank you so much. That's a lovely way to both end this interview and to end the series as well. So thank you for joining. For those watching, thank you very much for tuning into all of these episodes. And we wish you both Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. And Craig, thank you for sharing your Seder plates with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.